numerous times during the year, we at the Sheriff's Office are investigating sexual assaults and sexual abuse, and it's a range of victims. Sometimes the victims are children, other times the victims are over age 18 or older. There is that myth that smaller communities and smaller places don't have the same things that happen in bigger communities or urban areas, and we do. The frequency may not be as often, but we do have our share of them in Iroquois County, and it is a real event that happens in Iroquois County.
My role as a legal advocate is to provide support, comfort, and information to victims of sexual assaults and their families. My role is to explain the legal process to them. The legal process can be very long. It can last months up to years. So what I want to do mostly is make sure that the victim is aware, number one, of her rights, make sure that those rights are respected. We want to make sure that the victim understands the legal process and what to expect every step of the way. So we're there to be with that victim from the beginning to the end of a case. Victims have rights. They have many rights. They have the right to be in communication with law enforcement and with the state's attorney. That way the victim and the state's attorney have a good relationship. They're comfortable with each other. They have the right to know what's going on, during their case.
Well, for someone without support, it's very daunting to go in this without any knowledge or without any support of someone to help them through this process. It's very intimidating to have to talk with a prosecutor who makes you relive these experiences. So to have an advocate there to help with that support system is extremely important.
Because of the busyness of law enforcement, there are times where that victim may feel that it's just a very matter-of-fact dealing with law enforcement and that now I'm on my own again. But we make sure to get ISAS folks involved so that once we're done with the interview process and with that investigation process, that person's just not out there on their own.
It's less intimidating to have friendly faces from the sexual assault services there with the victim and their families, rather than just law enforcement or the prosecutor's office being the face of that prosecution. It's better to have an advocate there for the victim and their families to assist in that process.
Victims have the right to have someone to speak to privately, and for that information not to be shared outside of our agency. And because of state laws, we do have privilege. So the conversations and the communication that we have cannot be shared. We do not take the stand to testify, as to, what our victim has told us. So it gives our victim a safe place, someone that they can talk to and know that that information isn't going to go anywhere unless they choose to have that information released.